Ontario is planning to tighten the rules around mass layoffs. So what kind of rules they are planning to tighten? Because many employees, many workers, they work still virtually, work from home 2 or 3 days a week. So what is the government's planning on this issue?
Employers have to tell employees when they're being monitored electronically.
Clean washrooms, like this is the basic necessity one can expect, a human can expect. So cleaner washrooms on the construction site, and you yourself announced recently that there should be a women's separate washrooms on the construction site. How you choose those construction sites and why this was missing till today?
And the men and women that are in the skilled trades are heroes.
We have a very big, large workforce of the international students, and the courses they select while coming here in Canada is the business administration, which has no value or a minimum value for their future job scenarios. Being a Minister of Immigration, why don't we implement same kind of policy for the international students to have a mandatory technical course and get a credits to get their permanent residency?
I'm looking forward to joining the Federal Minister, Sean Fraser, very soon to announce a new deal that Ontario is going to get in terms of the number of immigrants that we can select.
ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ੋਅ 'ਚ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਹੈ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਦੇ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆਫ ਲੇਬਰ, ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ, ਟ੍ਰੇਨਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਸਕਿੱਲਸ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਮੌਂਟੀ ਮੈਕਨੋਟਨ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਔਰ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕੁਝ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਤੇ, ਕੰਸਟਰਕਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਵੂਮਨਸ ਦੇ ਵਾਸ਼ਰੂਮਸ ਦੇ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਾਸ ਲੇਆਫਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਵਰਚੁਅਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਘਰੋਂ ਇੰਪਲੋਈਜ਼ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ, ਔਰ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਜਾਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਸਿਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਟੈਕਨੀਕਲ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ। ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਮੈਕਨੋਟਨ, ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਏਸ਼ੀਆ।
Well, great to be back on with you today.
Minister, to start with, Ontario is planning to tighten the rules around mass layoffs. So what kind of rules they are planning to tighten? Because many employees, many workers, they work still virtually, work from home 2 or 3 days a week. So what is the government's planning on this issue?
Well, it's interesting. In the last quarter of 2022, 2.2 million people worked from home here in Ontario. So I've been critical in the past, governments not keeping up with changing workplaces. It's why under the leadership of Premier Ford, our government brought in the right to disconnect policy. We have made it the law now that employers have to tell employees when they're being monitored electronically. We are also banning non-compete clauses so workers can move from job to job if they want to find better jobs and bigger paychecks. The latest is what we announced this week, and it is around mass terminations. So for example, we've seen companies like Twitter and other tech companies recently laying off workers. Number one, workers find out via the media or social media that they've lost their job, which is wrong. But furthermore, they're not getting the severance pay that is owed to them. So with the changes we're making, remote workers will now fall under mass termination laws here in Ontario, and they'll be included and they'll be actually able to get more severance pay.
Means anyone who is working virtually, work from home, they will get same kind of benefits if anyone is working in person in the offices?
Absolutely. That's it in a nutshell. I mean, it's a big difference. I mean, they go from getting 1 week per year to 8 weeks per year severance.
Okay, so it means that there will be no misuse of the resources, because anyone is working from home means they are giving service to the companies, and companies can't misuse them like in this way.
Yeah, this is about ensuring that they get what is owed to them, or they're also given more notice. If a company is going to be, closing down, then it gives them more time to find another job so they can take home a paycheck and provide for their families. That's what's most important.
Minister, another issue of the clean washrooms, like this is the basic necessity one can expect, a human can expect. So cleaner washrooms on the construction site, and you yourself announced recently that there should be a women's separate washrooms on the construction site. How you choose those construction sites and why this was missing till today? Did you got so many complaints that you took this action to keep the cleaner washrooms on the construction sites?
Well, I believe that construction heroes and the men and women that are in the skilled trades are heroes. They're building all of those projects, whether it's homes or hospitals or transit projects that all of our families depend on. The 600,000 people in construction worked during the pandemic to build assessment centers, for example. So for a long time now, they've been ignored, and they've been ignored by politicians of all stripes in the past. But I want to make sure that they get what they're entitled to, and that is a clean and safe bathroom. And furthermore, not only are we doubling the amount of bathrooms on construction sites, we're going to have women's only bathrooms on larger construction sites. So this is about, improving standards and ensuring that these workers get what they're deserved.
Minister, this is a very welcoming step what you announced, because the having a clean hygiene, clean separate washrooms for the women is a welcoming step, and thanks for implementing that. So from when that will be implemented?
Starting on July 1st. So construction workers are going to see almost immediately a benefit to this proposed legislation, Working for Workers 3. And if passed, we'll double the number of washrooms on construction sites. We'll have a women-only bathroom facilities available for them. We're improving the PPE that women wear on construction sites. So we'll have harnesses and safety vests that fit even better. Bathrooms will be lit properly. They'll be cleaned more regularly. There'll be hand soap, running water if available, hand sanitizer. So it really is about bringing bathrooms on construction sites up to standards that are the best anywhere in North America.
Minister, there is a shortage of skilled workers here in Canada, in Ontario also. And recently, Education Minister Stephen Lecce, they announced that grade 9 students from 2024 will have a mandatory technical education course. You are a Minister of Labour, you are a Minister of Immigration. The question is, we have a very big, large workforce of the international students, and the courses they select while coming here in Canada is the business administration, which has no value or a minimum value for their future job scenarios. Being a Minister of Immigration, why don't we implement same kind of policy for the international students to have a mandatory technical course and get a credits to get their permanent residency? That way, our businesses, the food industry, the restaurants, they are suffering with the technical manpowers, the skilled workers. So is that a thinkable thought you can think on this issue?
Well, as you know, I mean, the federal government plays a big role, obviously, in the immigration system. I can speak to what, I'm doing and what our government's doing around the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program. I'm looking forward to joining the federal minister, Sean Fraser, very soon to announce a new deal that Ontario is going to get in terms of the number of immigrants that we can select. I can tell you that I'm really focused on bringing in skilled workers in the skilled trades as well as healthcare workers, because this is the greatest need that we have here in the province. One of the things I'm most proud of is that we've opened up all of our training programs under the leadership of Premier Ford for newcomers. So I launched in April Better Jobs Ontario, which allows newcomers who are in Ontario today to get 12 months of training. The government will pay up to $28,000, and they'll be trained for jobs that are actually in demand. So, again, it's all hands on deck. I think immigration is a key tool that we have to fill labor shortages. The other thing that I'm really proud of is we've eliminated the Canadian work experience requirement for newcomers, which has been a huge barrier. I want newcomers to work in fields that they've studied. That's how they're going to create a better life here in Ontario and build better jobs and bigger paychecks to provide more take-home pay for their families, but also to fill labor shortages we have. So we're doing all of these things. And around the international student component, I mean, certainly we've talked a lot about this with the federal minister to see how we can always improve the situation.
Yeah, for last, Minister, for last couple of years, our international students is a big workforce. but their courses are not matching with the skill we required. We need a construction workers, we need a restaurant workers, and we need all different fields, truck drivers, etc. But the courses which, my question was that the courses which they select is business administration, and they pass out, they get PR, but the job scenario, there are so many jobs in the Ontario, as the Ford government also mentioned, there are billions, there are so many jobs available, but we don't have the skilled people. So why not to address this issue of the international students to select their course, and in Ontario, if they have to get a LMI or a PR, they have to do a mandatory technical education course so that we can fulfill our demands of the requirement of the skilled force.
Well, look, as I said, I mean, around international students, the federal government plays a key role in that. Again, always talking with the federal government how we can improve this. I will say, you know, historically in Ontario, there's been a huge skills mismatch. So whether that's, you know, the people that are here in Ontario, young people, like getting them the training and education for jobs that are in demand, that's really my focus. And I think, you know, from a training perspective, it's imperative that we're recognizing the skills of newcomers that they have, and ensure that we're providing them training for jobs that are actually in demand. That's how we're going to grow our economy, and it'll be better standards of living for the newcomers as well.
Thank you, Minister. And lastly, if you want to give any message to the Ontarians.
I just want to say to everyone listening here today and watching, thank you for everything you're doing to build a stronger Ontario. Under Premier Ford and our government, we are working for workers. This is our third worker-friendly piece of legislation that we're bringing forward to really rebalance the scales, to empower workers to get better jobs and bigger paychecks, and to have more health and safety precautions to protect them on the job site, and ultimately to build a stronger Ontario for all of us.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you for joining and giving us these details. Thank you.
Thank you.
So ਆ ਸੀਗੇ Ontario ਦੇ Minister of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development, Minister Monty McNaughton. ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਾਸ ਲੇਆਫ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਲੋਕ ਵਰਚੁਅਲੀ ਘਰੋਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੇਮ ਕਾਈਂਡ ਆਫ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟਸ ਮਿਲੂਗੇ। ਵੱਡੀ ਕੰਪਨੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਮਾਸ ਲੇਆਫ ਕਰ ਰਹੀਆਂ, ਉਹ ਵਰਕਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਕਿ ਲੇਆਫ ਕਰਤੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸੈਵਰੇਜ ਪੈਕੇਜਸ ਨਾ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣ। ਸੋ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਲੈਜਿਸਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਿਆ ਕੇ ਆਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੰਸਟਰਕਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਈਟਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੇ 'ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਵੂਮਨਸ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਲੇਡੀਜ਼ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਸ਼ਰੂਮਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਸੀ। ਕਾਫੀ ਕੰਪਲੇਂਟਸ ਆਈਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ। ਸੋ 1 ਜੁਲਾਈ ਤੋਂ ਫਾਰਵਰਡ ਕੰਸਟਰਕਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਈਟ, ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਵੱਡੀਆਂ ਕੰਸਟਰਕਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਈਟਸ ਹੈ, ਉੱਥੇ ਕਲੀਨ ਵਾਸ਼ਰੂਮਸ ਹੋਊਗੇ। ਲੇਡੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਸੈਪਰੇਟ ਵਾਸ਼ਰੂਮਸ ਇੰਪਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਹੋਊਗੇ। ਸੋ ਉਹਦੀ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅਨਾਊਂਸਮੈਂਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਔਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੈ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇੱਥੇ ਜੌਬਸ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ 'ਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੈ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਰਸ ਮੈਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਕਿਲਡ ਜੌਬਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਉਹ ਸਕਿਲਡ ਵਰਕਰ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਉਹਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਬੜਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਰੋਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਦ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੈ, ਸੋ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੂਗੇ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆਫ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ। ਸੋ ਆਹ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਮੁੱਦਿਆਂ 'ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਮੁੱਦਿਆਂ 'ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹੋ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਏਸ਼ੀਆ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ। ਓਪਨਿੰਗ